All
All right. Well,
yeah.
hello, everybody. This is your girl, Ericka, from the Classic Climb blog. A little late night before we go to Hawaii. Up out of here in the Hawaii on the sands, the beach, eating pork sandwiches. It's the healthy pork. It's the island pork. I brought on Dr. Dix. You see the title. Women quitting automation. Tai Lopez playing the long game and boring businesses sold for 42 million. We are coming, Dr. Dix, what do you call us again? Reality twins or something to that effect.
Yeah, they call us the reality
There you
twins.
go. Listen. So Dr. Dix hit me up a couple days ago about a few articles, but I also saw some articles on women quitting, and I wanted to tap into that. I know y'all think, oh, these people are gonna be working till they die. No, not people with skills. Not people with skills. So drop your city and state in the chat. We want to say hello to you. Drop one in the comments if you like being here, all that good stuff. Now, Dr. Diggs, please tell them who you are and why we bring you on to talk about automation.
This is Dr. Patrick Dix. I am an automation expert. I wrote my dissertation on automation back in May 2020. You can see me on PBS. I just posted the link in the private chat to Erica, and I also put my calendar link so you can reach out to me about doing consultations. And I just uploaded another video on my channel, but automation is going to affect all of us. And this is something everybody needs to be prepared for.
For sure. And so a lot of people laugh because, Amazon or what we call Google is closing some of those cashless stores, right? Their cameras weren't perfect enough. So they closed some of those stores so they can critique those cameras and make sure you don't steal nothing out of there, right? But something I brought up into the channel earlier this week was Tai Lopez. How many people said, well, why would Tai buy these closed businesses? And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. And me and Dr. Dix are going to talk to you about how automation plays a part in this right here. Okay, you guys should be seeing New York Post. Put a one in the comments if you are. If you aren't, I need to know ASAP. If you're not, huh? Are you seeing it, Dr. Dix? I hope so. All right. So as they have the ridiculous amount of advertising on here. Okay. Oh no, it's going to take me down a rabbit hole. Advertising, get out of here. Get out of there. Okay. All right. So, a flashy firm that has scooped up a slew of bankrupt retail brands, including Radio Shack, Pure One Imports, and Modell Sporting Goods, is now in danger of filing bankruptcy. Miami-based retail e-commerce ventures, please pay attention to that, whose CEO Tai Lopez is a self-help guru who lists Bill Gates and Montagati as inspiration, charges up to $1 million a year for coaching and consulting expertise. 1 mil a year, y'all. I'm charging too little. Has spent 120 million to amass a portfolio of aging retailers, including Dress Barn, the ladies love it, Linens and Things, Steinmark, and the Franklin Mint, according to source of the firm's knowledge. But lately, Tai Lopez and his co-owner Alex Meir, who literally is a genius. And when I talk to that, and I'm like, mm-hmm. After selling his Zoots dating site for $298 million. And they're opening books of their privately owned licensing company to prospective investors for potential sale of all assets, a bankruptcy or Hail Mary financing. Oh my, there's Ty on the plane for us. He's got to show you his body. He got fat, then he got it down again. He said they're burning cash. Take it all the way out of it. They're burning cash, and losses last year were both about $60 million compared with about 150 million in sales and then about 90 million in losses. Woo! Okay, so they racked up about 200 million in debt. And of course, they're not answering the calls. Why are they not answering the calls? Because you know why? You know why they don't answer the call, Dr. Dix? They ain't trying to hear it. Okay, y'all, they not trying to hear it. Now, why am I bringing this up? You think, man, this is a failed group. This doesn't make any sense. Why would they buy all these websites, these companies that are dying? Now, see, they didn't get to buy the whole rights to the company. What they got to buy was the websites and the ability to have the warehouse space ship the products out. Okay, you guys. So, certain ones 10,000 stores went out of business in 2019. So they didn't go buy stores. What they bought was the intellectual property, which is the website and the ability for them to ship out the stuff. So they paid 20 million. That's all it was. 20 million for Pier 1 Imports, 3.6 for Models, and 6 million for Steinmart. The old folks love Steinmart. Now here's the problem, right? Because here's where it gets a little funky. Okay. They were letting all kind of people invest. That's one part. And two, the guy said, do you realize for every person that's invested 300,000, we will send them up to 60K a year? Let me say that again. Do you realize for every person that put 300K in here, we'll be sending them 60K a year? This is why when y'all fuss with me about investing and returns and dividends, I know you don't. And private money deals, I know you guys don't talk about. That's okay. But yeah, basically, he said, if you want more details on our deals, we pay up to 25% a year in monthly payments. So he got people in on the juicy, right? They're juicy, fat deals. And long of the story short is, if you are not an accredited investor, you are not allowed to participate in calls and deals. You could lose some or all your money. Now, of course, they stopped sending those emails out in November because their law team said something to them. Now, Dr. Dix, what are they ramping up to do here? What are they ramping up to do, Dr. Dix?
I would say they're ramping up the flea, the cash out and haul ass.
That's one way, right? I think a part of it is they're getting ahead of the curve, right? Mm-hmm. All those brands are older brands where people sometimes want to physically touch the clothes, physically see it. You've got to convince boomers to buy online from Steinmart when they can no longer see it. You got to convince boomers to buy from Models when they can no longer just come in the store and try on the sneakers. You got to convince people to buy from Dress Barn when they can no longer come in the store and grab it. Now, listen, I'm all about online retail, but who's your marketplace? I think the longer play here, Dr. Diggs, honestly, is just them getting in the conversation of firms. Now, what do I mean? You saw what happened with WeWork, right? He lost all that money. Mm-hmm. And then he was able to raise another $100 million. Because who else do they know with that big of a pool, that much media, news, TV, all that stuff? You know who's going to be able to raise a bunch of money in the future? The FTX guy, the guy that just did the scam. Watch, because he won. I'm just going to say it, he's Jewish too. Who raised $1 billion?
That's a lot of money.
They don't know, right? So this is part of them playing that long future game that, hey, these stores aren't going to have people working in the store, but y'all still going to buy stuff online. Mm-hmm. Borders is still out there. Half price books is still out there online. They got warehouses where all the stuff sits, right? But what's the thing, Dr. Dix? What's happening at the warehouse that's happening on the automation side?
You have robots and you have machines that are actually going to pick everything out, and they're taking people out of the warehouses. So technology is replacing humans, and they're looking for faster and more efficient ways to do those processes.
The number one thing that's about to happen here is Tai Lopez is like, we're gonna get lean, mean fighting machine, and they're gonna let a lot of y'all go and have the robots working. That's what's about to happen.
Lean Six Sigma, for the people out there that are green belts and black belts. Mm-hmm. So that's where those types of certs will come in. But business and, the listeners listening to this, the thing about any business is to do more with less. And if they can have robots in there to fetch those books, those packages, those purses, those clothes, they'll get rid of 500 of y'all and have 100 people run that facility, and the other 400 of y'all are doomed.
We have another one here for automation. People said, now, why would they have automation when people can work for cheap? Well, what happens when, okay, I'm trying to pull the screen up. Hold on a second. And there's 143 people here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Okay, let me go here. Women leaders, right here. It's disastrous situation. Is that what y'all seeing? Please put a 1 if y'all seen it. It's a disastrous situation. Women leaders are leaving companies at the highest rates ever. For women in management, there's never been a better time to quit. Women are leaving their companies at the highest rate ever. Surveyed 22,000 women and 18,000 men out here just calling it quits. They're calling it the great breakup. Companies are at massive risk of losing women for the same reason driving female leaders quit. They're even more important. Women aren't saying they don't want to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to return it to business as usual. What just happened, Dr. Dix, the past 3 years?
The pandemic and about 800,000 women went home.
They went home, and then the other half were out there basically
Working.
watching kids at the house,
Mm-hmm.
doing the soccer mom thing, taking break, chilling, you
Yep.
know. So now you want all these people to come back in the office. And so I laugh because me and my boo go by this one gym, and the parking lots were gone. They were like nobody out there, right? Except for the gym. Well, you look over to the left, now the whole Office Depot staff is there. The parking lot's full from the back to the front. A couple other buildings over there, back to the front, full of cars. These companies are starting to make y'all do what?
Come back to work.
We're
Return
gonna
to
see how
work.
much you're working. We're gonna see how much you're working. Come on back in. So, Dr. Dix, what's happening to the people that don't want to return? What are they gonna do?
Pink slip. Either you retrain, or you don't have a job, or you're unemployed, or you're just part of the permanent underclass with no money right now. So if you don't have a skill set to demand that you can work from home, you're either going to have to earn one, or you're going to not have a job.
Some of these women are like, I'm struggling to climb the corporate ladder. Oh, it's such a hard time. Baby. They just quitting. They need a
Mm-hmm.
break, right? And then let me see.
Yeah, that goes back to that article. We talked about NILFs, men not in the workforce. Now you have
Mhm.
women. So we're gonna have even a worse problem now. You have women not working, you have men not working. So who is going to really make money? And this comes down to who really has the best skill set, because working in corporate America is stressful. I've done it and do it, and anyone else I've talked to, they're stressed and they just need more flexibility. But the thing is, if you don't have an in-demand skill set, or you've been sitting around making $80,000, kissing a little butt here, joining these groups at work, now you're starting to see, I'm not going to get any further. I'm either going to have to quit my job or revise my plan. And a lot of women are just quitting. And now you got to go back to square one now, but you have $80,000 in student loan debt. So it's now you're praying and hoping Joe Biden them and the Supreme Court are able to pass this um, loan forgiveness stuff. So, that's what a lot of people are doing.
And honestly, I don't know why y'all praying for that. They not gonna do it. They don't care.
Same thing I've been
They're
saying.
like, y'all, they don't care. They don't. Let me show you this right here. It says number one reason women say they will quit for a higher paying job.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier
Number
when you sent
52,
it to me.
51% was less stress. Number three is for a job with better work-life balance. They don't care about your life balance. I just want to make that
Nope.
clear. For a job that advances my career, to start my own company. Now, many people laugh about people starting their own company. Oh, y'all not gonna really do nothing. And I want y'all to understand, you shouldn't laugh too hard. There's a couple people who are buying low tech, very simplistic companies, and then they're gonna do what? They're gonna lean them companies out. Very few employees doing the work, and they're gonna start smaller companies. Um, Dr. Dix, what happens to these people who say, "Man, I just need some work-life balance. I'm gonna go home." What's happening to them?
You don't have a job. Work to life balance. I mean, when you're talking, you want to work to life balance. I want everybody to think about this. What skill set do you have to really give yourself a better work to life balance? If it's something not in STEM, if it's something not analytical or technical, you're going to be sitting at home. Because you were talking about Ericka, you were talking earlier that many companies are now requesting people to come back to work. So better work life balance usually equals unemployment if you don't have the correct skill set. So you're pretty much going to be on the end of the totem pole unless you have the in-demand skill set.
What's funny is I'm meeting people who are, I'm going back to college for MBA. I'm going back to
Mm-hmm.
college for this, and I'm like, why? You can go get certification and go back to work. I
Mm-hmm.
think we're going to see a rush of people going back to college, Dr. Dick. This is why they can never really bail out the students, because people keep doing, to me, the old technique. Well, I'm gonna go back and get some more skills, and I always ask them to do what? What you gonna do with it?
Many people don't know what they want to do. Okay, for instance, we'll use cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, the field is already there's too many people already in it. So many people are going into cybersecurity. I've talked to a couple of people that say they can't even get a job in the field because too many people have the same skill set. And, it comes down to knowing what's popular and knowing what's really going to be needed in the future. It comes down to just really doing the research, just like those nurses in Florida went to that school and never did the research to say, did anybody else graduate from this school before I invest all this money into getting this license or going through all of these clinicals? You're going to have to do the research, but many people aren't doing that. They're just saying, I'm going to go back to school. A lot of people are getting MBAs. I have one. I got mine like 9 years ago, but I got mine with an emphasis in information technology management. And I've always advised people, if you're going to go back to graduate school, please get your graduate degree in something STEM related or technical or engineering. Please just don't go to say, I have the graduate degree. The rule of school is to go get a different qualification, a skill set to make more money, not just to sit and look pretty. Even though I have a doctorate degree, y'all don't know how many people I know have doctorate degrees make $75,000 because they went and got a doctorate of education. They went and got a PhD and wrote research on stuff that's already out here just to sound cool. You don't go to school to acquire debt just to make the same amount of money you will make with a master's degree. That's not the overall goal.
Man, I knew somebody who said their wife was like, I really need to go back and get my master's degree. And he's like, for what? Will it get you more money? Will it get you competitions? And what it was, Dr. Dick, she was in a government job. So it's kind of like, well, we only give them to who's the most educated, most loaded with. And she's like, you're only going to make $5,000 more. Switch departments. She switched departments. She's much more happier.
Yes.
You have a lot of people competing in weird ways. Like, we keep getting more degrees.
I don't know why they're doing it. If you go on LinkedIn, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I see a lot of people popping up into my feed, getting degrees and stuff that's not even usable. I saw somebody in the comments who talked about cloud computing. Cloud computing that's a very good field to go into, but I don't see a lot of people on like the LinkedIn or any site doing that. Most people are just going to get something in communications, higher ed, um, stuff like that is not really helping out. And when you really think about it, a company is never going to pay you what you're worth. I've always recommended to people, if you have a master's degree, you can go write courses or you can teach like I do to bring yourself, additional income. But a lot of people don't want to do that.
How and when are we going to get more people to switch over? Just like literally, like this isn't working. What is it going to take for some of these people
to get fired, or the man is going to come in? I'm going to be honest. Y'all see all the layoffs happening, and I don't know if Ericka said it in a video or I said it in my last one. Oh, I know what made me think about it when I saw your article when you talked about DFW creating a separate terminal. I don't know if people realize it, but the separation from poor people to wealthy people is here. And if you don't have a certain amount of money, you're going to be left on the bottom of the totem pole. So you're going to have to switch right now. I don't know what it's going to take, Ericka. I mean, every time I go to the grocery store right now, I'm spending about $250 a week for groceries. Somebody has to take as they call it, a SWOT analysis, you learn in graduate school, to think about their life and say, I need to get a different skill set. I'm not making enough money. Too many people are comfortable. That's one of the things that's hurting them too.
How can we get these younger folks into trades, into like the switch, right? Because I did a show earlier and I talked about how they had a DJ who was like basically this is what they do. Hey, just let your debt get bad, let you get almost kicked out your apartment, and we'll put you on the Section 8 voucher. Well, now the dude then ain't paid his rent. He's sitting there in an empty, no power apartment, and they got a voucher, but he's squatting because they don't have enough affordable housing. So it's almost like, where does the wake up call happen for some of these people, right?
Yeah. I got a wake up call back in probably about 2000. I remember going to college, and I've said this to many people. If you've ever been broke, it's a taste in your mouth you never want to taste again. And I'll fight and do whatever and to never have to decide whether to put gas in my car when I was in college or to eat. This is when the first recession happened back in 2008. And when I worked at Walmart and I got paid $7.25 an hour, I'll tell people I worked in tire and lube because I've always known how to work on cars. Do y'all know back in 2009 to 2010, there were people getting $15 an hour at Walmart. And Ericka, I don't know if Ericka knows about this. They granted Sam Walton back in the day. I think you got an extra dollar an hour, or if you made more money, if you worked on Sunday, you got paid double time or something. I don't know what it was, but you had most people wanted to work on Sunday, and it was particularly older people. So I worked at Walmart, and I don't see how people made it off of $17 an hour. This was in 2009 and 10. That's like 13, 14 years ago, and they were happy to make that money. I knew I was there once. I knew I was going to leave once I got my degree, and that's what I did. But a lot of people were just comfortable making that amount of money. So there's the switch: blue collar, white collar. A lot of people are going to get their wake up call very soon because the Fed chairman is about to raise the rate, and y'all, the price of living is not coming down anytime soon. I don't know what else to tell y'all.
Oh my God, I'm sending this to you.
To me?
You know, Dr. Dick, so you're teaching classes, right? You're teaching people, and you got all kinds of students in your class. What are some of the things you're hearing from your students?
They're not prepared for life. Many of the students have been passed along in their life, and they're good test takers. So, but the international students have a better work ethic than us. You know, they'll email me, they'll call me. It's some of the American students that really don't take the education serious. And whether y'all know it or not, Ericka was mentioning this earlier.
No, go ahead.
Oh, Ericka was mentioning earlier about people are going back to school more and more and more. But I teach at one of the universities, and they're having record enrollment. They're having to offer so many classes, like in computer related subjects. So I'm telling y'all, from somebody that's teaching and traveling, please make sure you go major in STEM. Please make sure you go major in a blue collar field. We have not seen the worst yet of what's about to come. Y'all, please make sure you have your money stacked up. When I flew this past weekend, y'all, the airplane was full, and I paid $870 for my ticket. That was a first class ticket. A regular ticket was $700. The planes were packed. The airport was packed in Colombia. I don't know where people are getting money from. I was even asking people I was talking to. I said, I thought people were broke, but apparently people are just traveling like there's no tomorrow.
And this is, you know why Dr. Dicks are traveling somewhere? Credit cards. Some of it's credit cards. Some of it is where a lot of people are trying to take these gap years. What's funny is this lady's video went viral, and she's like, when you're 25 years old and you're going on a gap year before life gets serious, and then the music goes when you're actually 36, married with 2 dogs, and you're like, ma'am. But I think that's what's happening. I think people got this really relaxing moment with the pandemic, and now they realize, oh, I gotta go back to work. I gotta go drive into work. Oh no.
Well, Ericka, you and I both know most people were not really doing any work before the pandemic happened, and the pandemic got them very comfortable. Donald Trump and Joe Biden, both administrations sent out so much money. That money is gone now, and people got that cost of living and that high living rate. I said some people never made $75,000 in their life, and I saw the other day you were talking about credit card debt. I think it's at a record high right now. So I don't know what people are really doing. Everywhere I go, there's now hiring signs. Even when I travel, there are hiring signs everywhere. We'll do spot on interviews, and I just don't know what's going on with the culture. I mean, it's not even one race or gender. Nobody wants to progress forward. But when the rug is pulled from under your feet, what are you really going to do? Well, I mean, how are you going to come up with $8,000 to $9,000 a month to take care of yourself? And people, you could sit there and somebody could write in the comments $8,000 to $9,000. It takes that minimally just for yourself. I mean, the reason I said $8,000 to $9,000, you got to remember once taxes come out, the average rent I looked the other week was about $1,970. Oh, and this is a tidbit. I looked at the stuff in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
A study came out. Houston, Texas is the most stressful city to live in the United States.
It's because they're all coming there thinking they're going to be in Atlanta, a mini Atlanta. The first up. So I saw this article, and this is why I say some of these cities got to be paying for some of these articles, right? They got to be sponsored because it says the 5 best states to raise a family if you make over $70,000 a year: Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, Minnesota, Nebraska. Y'all, of those cities, who can take $70,000 and live great in New York?
Nope.
Who can take $70,000? Even Vermont, parts of Vermont are expensive.
And all of those states are cold.
You got light gas bills. What are they talking about? That's why I say some of these they got to be paying for it. They're like, this is a report from Rocket Mortgage. I said, okay, Rocket Mortgage, cut it out. This is fake news. Fake news.
$70,000.
$70,000 in New York.
70. Who? You can't even live about $70,000 in Atlanta, depending on where you want to live at. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Charlotte is getting expensive. Yeah, I don't know if people know this, but Charlotte, North Carolina is becoming a tech hub. A lot of companies now are starting to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep. So for all y'all people that live in Rock Hill, right outside of Charlotte, y'all taxes about to go up in York up there.
This guy said, I'm in Minnesota. Most of these folks are on dope. Shelter is packed. I said, oh, God. Yeah, dog. He said $70K maybe with 3 roommates. $70K in New York is rough. I mean, they in upper New York. I don't know. I was like, who paid for this article? This don't even sound right. Charlotte is a 4-hour drive from Atlanta. Well, this is the crazy part. Many people keep telling me, oh, I lived in Charlotte. Then I went to Atlanta for 6 months or a year and I moved right back. I'm like, yeah, you see, it costs. All this stuff costs. None of it's going to be on the discount. Dr. Dix, let me show you this. And nobody wants to do the boring work, right? And so I'm going to show this clip if I can get to it. Let me get to it. I'll pull it up. Because I thought this is the prime example where people, oh, that's boring. That's boring. The boring stuff is what's going to get some of y'all paid. Let me go here. This is literally a website called the School of Hard Knocks. I had to laugh a little bit because, again, I think these are, they saw how people made money on the income report, asking people how much money they make. This dude's on a golf course bothering people. So let me just play this for y'all. Oh, my bad. Let me do it like that. Hold on, share it. Okay, this is the School of Hard Knocks. There you go.
8 people making 250,000 plus stock options, restricted stock, and all those pieces. You're making maybe $500,000, $600,000 a year, and you look around at all these small mom and pop businesses that are guys who are making $250,000 with tremendous upside. And so you could make that same money without going through all that mess, and then you have so much more upside. I bought a landscape supply company in New Braunfels, and I sold it after 4 years for $42 million.
How can someone really start their path to becoming wealthy in today's world?
Start your own business. Yeah, I think that staying out of corporate America and being stymied by all the restrictions that are pressured downward. I mean, think about it this way. There's 500 corporate 500 companies. There's 500 CEO positions. You've got 6 to 8 people making 250,000 plus stock options, restricted stock, and all those pieces. You're making maybe $500,000, $600,000 a year, and you look around at all these small mom and pop businesses that are guys who are making $250,000 with tremendous upside. And so you could make that same money without going through all that mess. And then you have so much more upside. I bought a landscape supply company in New Braunfels.
Hold on. Okay. Now, why did I just show y'all that? Why did I show y'all that? Did y'all see that? Everybody see it? Make a 1 in the comments if you saw it. I want to make sure everybody heard it and saw it. Landscape supply company in New Braunfels, which is right below Austin. Why did I bring this up? He wasn't the lawn care guy, because lawn care guys make $100K a year easy, right? They can make they 6 figures. He was the supplier. right? Because guess what? Most guys don't. They last minute buy the machines, they buy the golf, the riding lawnmowers, the trailers, all that stuff. All that stuff. Again, what is it, Dr. Dix? He's selling the shovels to people doing what? Digging for gold. We're in Texas. Texas has sun and warmth for about 10 months out of the year. And the other 2 months are just a little cold. And what ends up happening is, what just happened here twice? We had a storm. All these trees fell down. You saw everybody and their mama with a little pickup truck with a trailer riding behind them, full of tree barks. And there's still trees everywhere on the ground right now. The service business, if you're not going to fight and haggle into corporate America, where you got to play nice and be nice to Kathy so you can show up on work and all that other stuff, there's a lot of people that's going to build a smaller little thing. That's why we have so many men missing out of the workforce, because they're watching online. They're like, well, I can build a little small business. Some of these people are going to build a small business that makes $1,000 to about $4,000 a month. But if you listen to some of your cousins, that ain't no money. That's enough money to keep them out of these corporate offices, especially when they ain't got skills. But let me see your comments. Let me see.
That is a good path to take, not to avoid getting in debt, and the corporate America thing has been old, and I'm glad a lot of people are starting to see it and, taking the risk right now. Right now is the best time to take the risk, to go for it, because there's so much opportunity. Why not go for it? You can start an landscape company and be a millionaire.
Yeah. Karen said people making $250K a year living check to check. Yeah, in New York. Don King said many folks came from Chicago to Minnesota and ruined the housing voucher system. All right, man. Y'all blaming Chicago. What's going on? Let me see. Where is it at? She said now in Minnesota, you got to make twice the rent to get an apartment. Hey, in Texas, it's 3 times the rent. Corporate America is basically where you intern until you figure out what to do and how to do it. Yeah, I always tell people, if you want to hide in a big company, that's where you can go do it. You can go hide in a big company. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't spend, if I'm working in corporate America for 20 years, if you're not the CEO, something's not right. You know how some people make all that money, say, the goal was to work at the most at 10 and get out. I don't know about y'all, but I can't continue to do it. I'm fighting that every day, and I'm like, nah, I got to get out. I'm starting to see how, how things are. I mean, but it's my job isn't too bad. It's very flexible, but I tell people, start to look around and see what's going on.
I was just gonna tell y'all now, disclaimer. If I can find this young man, because he does this in Austin, Texas, I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna go ahead and pay him his little bit of $2. Go ahead and put me on here. It made me go viral. Because he's in Austin walking around doing this stuff. This is why I laugh, because they're like, how he keeps running into millionaires? He's literally downtown where the tech is. He's in other spaces where a lot of salespeople work. He's actually going to golf courses. If you notice, a lot of people are on the golf course. He's like, in my opinion, harassing them. But maybe somebody at the golf course so they don't get kicked out. But yeah, go check it out. Go check him out. Right? He's got a diverse group of people on there. But this is Austin, Texas, and then the other half he goes to Dallas. So you guys should see this. Some of it's cracking me up. But that's the reason I brought him on here, so you could just see where, because if you ask people, oh, there's no rich people, I don't know how they're finding these people to do interviews, and I'm like, easy, they're going where the work is, they're going where the buildings are, they're going to stand right in front of there, right?
Well, and then I see a comment, you need to be a C-level in about 12 years. I'm gonna be honest, I think AAE in this day and time, ain't nobody got 12 years to be no C-level sweet person. Get the right skill set and move up in the company, or don't even move up. Get a job that can pay you enough to where you could get off of work and create your own stuff, stack your money for about 60 months and hit the door. Because corporate America, I mean, they have their own sets of rules. If, I see you have to do a lot of ass kissing, all this stuff. That's old. I'm glad my generation, and I'm glad a lot of the generations behind us are starting to see like, nah, this ain't it. Ain't nobody about to work for y'all for no 30 years.
Not 30 years. I mean, this is part of why not everybody, and again, I always want to make this very clear, not everybody's going to do this. But the few people that I bring with me to the builders conference, the few people I bring with me that want to buy and invest in property, there will be thousands of people. Like I literally, Other day I drove by my old apartment. I just was having a moment. I drove over there, and literally it's the same cars parked over there. It's the same cars, same people. People will live at apartments for years and put that money in parking. That's why Grant Cardone's always talking about apartments, because he knows once people get in there, if the rent's just high enough, you never really save money to go buy your own house. And you really aren't thinking about investing your money. No matter whether people say, oh, I live in an apartment and I invest $500 a month or $1,000 a month. That's rare. All right. So that's why we're always talking about money and kind of getting your skills up. Because at least if you're going to be bothered at work, at least be bothered for 150. Be bothered for 120. Be bothered for a number that makes sense.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Get the correct skill set. They make it now the way you can go train online on YouTube. I mean, Coursera, or those,
Yes.
whatever, if I'm saying it right. Y'all, you don't have to go back to school to get into big debt to get another skill set. You can sit at your house and learn how to do Python. I mean, just go on Indeed and look at the jobs. The thing is right now, I'm seeing that what I'm going to invest in this year, and I'm looking at how I'm going to do my money. The thing is, what I tell folks, save your money. And if you don't know what to do with it, save it, and then make the dash to get rid of it, to invest. Because you don't want to make a bad deal with anything and rush into something, because I look at stuff online and I'm just saying, let me keep looking until the right deal comes about. It's our world. The world is just technologically advancing. You got people like you doing the videos, Ericka. People are moving overseas. Women are moving overseas. People just seeing the old way of living. I know both of my parents are deceased, and I could tell y'all, not only my parents, other people probably are dead from working themselves to the bone. I'm not about to do that. Like, people literally died working, how they get you: buy a house at 20, pay the mortgage till 55, then you die at 60, you never get to enjoy life. I'm not about to spend my life just paying bills, and I'm not about to die early.
Well, the crazy part is, Dr. Dix, where you are in South Carolina, there were houses going for $80K forever. So people had $300 mortgages talking about, oh, it's so much hard, it's so hard. I'm like, your mortgage $300, baby. Y'all got to cut it out.
South Carolina ain't that bad now.
There are some cities, especially Columbia, especially parts all around there. They were literally getting $80K. Like one of our students here on the Classy Climb, she's in Houston. She worked a forklift operator for 15 years. She hated her job. Andre Hatcher told her to do mobile notary, so she got mobile notary. She got pre-approved, bought a condo in Houston for $85K. This is like a good 4.5 years ago, almost 5. And she's like, yo, my mortgage is only like $3,000. Man, I quit my job today. I done did $2,000-$3,000 in mobile notary every month. I'm like, congratulations. It's really, because what people don't understand is that home ownership component, or having a component where you own some type of asset, that's where you get that freedom.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, I know houses, but USC Columbia is buying all of Columbia up right now. You're not going to get anything downtown. And now with the Gamecocks, with Don Staley, with the notoriety of that team, like that's kicking everybody's ass, Columbia is about to become a mecca of just for women's basketball, similar to like Connecticut. And everything is about to go up in Columbia. It's expensive. You're gonna either have to move to Irmo. It's expensive. You have Chaplin. You got Kershaw County. It's expensive. Charleston is very expensive too. People used to go to Charleston, but most people cannot even afford to live in Charleston anymore.
And the crazy part, Dr. Dix, they're online talking crazy, and I'm like, y'all talking about all this stuff online that does not compute over to the real world. The government doesn't outsource you. You have to be a citizen. Home ownership provides the stability. This is true. Again, we brought a lot of TAM and several people here for the Tech Tuesdays, trying to get people ready. Like, again, Whatchcall said the other day, y'all are fighting. Let me see if I can pull it up. Y'all are fighting technology instead of being a part of it. And I was like, Dr. Dix, I was about to tag you in the comments. I said, Dr. Dix, you better get in there and get in the comments. Hold on a second.
Yeah, y'all, you learn how this stuff works: automation, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Y'all, there is so much to discover about this stuff to where you can get in a sector of it and learn about it and make yourself a lot of money. There are things about it I don't know. I still research. I know about what I know, but I'm continuously learning. And I want more people to not be afraid of how the future is going to look and embrace it and say, those people don't know what machine learning looks like. I know what it works like and how the algorithms, I can make money. And you can do that sitting from your house. You can create your own company to say, hey, we do machine learning. We're going to show y'all how to work with this stuff. But hey, it is what it is. Y'all gotta, learn to embrace this stuff and learn how it works. I mean, this stuff is coming, so it's already here.
For sure, for sure. Now, here's another one to go with what we were talking about, Dr. Dixon.
The government literally said, hey, we're about to replace y'all jobs with all these robots, with all these AI tools, and some of you still chilling, still sitting back, not trying to strategize on how you can overcome this. You're worried about trying to stop them from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's all sign a petition and tell them to stop. It's not going to happen. You just seen, they said they about to replace as much labor force as they can and save money. That's their goal. So what do you want to be? You want to be the person working on a robot, or you want to be the person behind the sign saying, don't do this? Okay. So if I were all of you, I would smarten up and start acting now. Start buying assets, start acquiring new skills to make money. Some that are non-replaceable. Look at stuff that can't be replaced, stuff that's going to be in demand, so that you can make money for the rest of your life, so that you don't get left behind. Like, I really, really don't get how people can really see what's going on and ignore it. It's happening, and they're warning you, and you're seeing the forewarnings of it. They just let go of tens of thousands of employees in almost every company, you name it: UPS, FedEx, Amazon, Meta, Twitter, Google. Come on now. You see what's happening. Smarten up. Link in my bio when you're ready to learn. Let's get it. Here's what I don't get. The government literally said, hey, we're about to replace y'all jobs.
Okay, I didn't want to play that to death for y'all, but the reason I brought that up is this young man was in the military. His wife, college educated and master's degree, and he switched over and did what? Started learning how to trade stocks, put together a group. Again, I salute him. And then he took that money and invested in other properties. This is what a lot of people did with their sales and money during this past 3 years. Why did I play that video? I think a lot of people are saying, no, they can't let us go from the factory, Dr. Dix. Didn't we just do a video maybe two, 3 weeks ago where we showed the factory was laid off all these people, and it's like, it's just machine sliding across the floor. They even have a family right now suing for $25 million because a woman messed up on a forklift and it killed her. And they're like, oh my God, we got to sue them for $25 million. I'm like, these warehouses ain't going to be paying out these big policies. They already got it written in your contract. I told y'all what happened in Fayetteville. Somebody literally took their own head off on a forklift, riding too fast, playing around, TikToking, and then they drug tested everybody on the floor near him that night. And when my cousin told me that, I said, that's ridiculous, right? Because what if you at work minding your own business? Then they come in there and go, you got to be drug tested. Like, well, I didn't do nothing. I was over here. And so a lot of times when people are not paying attention, is these companies are like, oh, no, you out of here. You out of here. You out of here. And they got insurance on you. So they're going to get a check for you cutting up, busting the flow up. They're going to get a check for that. Okay, so I'm going to be in the position, or I'm going to make myself so I don't have to be working on the forklift or lifting anything. Because it was a young lady in her 30s. I'm like, baby, like, been there 5 years. That's when the accidents happen, when you get too comfortable. You know what I mean? So my biggest thing is I play that video because I want y'all to understand, like, we're going to a season where I see a lot of people doing seasonal work, right? Where, prime example, I know people who do taxes. Man, you can't even talk to them January to April. You can't even talk to them. Oh, man, I'm so busy. Call me later, man, I'm busy. Well, then you start talking to them in May, June, they chill. They still doing bookkeeping. You're going to see a lot more people in that flow of seasonal work. But you want to do seasonal work for $30K a year, or you want to do seasonal work for $80, $90K? You want to take Sub-Zero on some of these people's classes and then make sure hey, I was in a contract for 90 days and I made $10K each month. I'm okay with it. It's really about the skills at this point.
It is. And I teach school, and there is such a need for people with a technology background to teach like 5 and 6 week classes in 7 weeks. Y'all, I want y'all to know about this. Schools now are trying to get away from 16 weeks, and they're trying to do 5 weeks to get people out faster and faster and faster. And most of the coursework and the curriculum is already written. They just need people with a master's degree to teach. So I've never understood people that say, oh, I got a tech degree, a master's degree in tech. Why don't you try to go teach a class for like $2,500? And if you teach at 6 different schools, 6 times 25 is $12,000 or $13,000. I said, the money's out there. The people cannot find people to teach. I am telling y'all, it is, y'all would be amazed at all. Go to a school online, and these schools pay very big money. And I've talked to friends of mine, but some folks I've talked to, man, I ain't got the time for that. So you telling me you don't have time for 5 weeks of work for $3,000? All you got to do is grade the discussions, interact with the students, help them out. The work is automatically graded. You don't have time to make $3,000 in 5 weeks. That's the kind of that and the mad 10 times a week, 10 times a year. Ericka, that's $30,000 just from one school. There you go. And you're an adjunct, you don't get any benefits. Just imagine if you had a main hustle and you had 2 or 3 hustles like that.
Yeah.
People, that's never going to go away. But hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. I try to encourage anybody I can to do that.
Listen, I keep telling people the only teaching position that sucks is nurses, because nurses go from making 90 something an hour, and 90K a year, to them wanting them to teach for 45K. That just ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna do it. But in the other positions, I told y'all, East Carolina had it had like a certificate where you had like 4 or 5 classes, and it made you certified enough to teach. Now here's the problem. They always have those positions open, Dr. Dix, right? They're always looking for a real professor with all the certs. So you could get in there, but any moment they found a legit certified master degree having person, they had to let you go. And I was like, I don't care. I'll come in and teach 5 weeks at a time, right? Because really, what people don't understand is they're always going to need someone to teach these classes, because people from overseas are getting certified, or they're coming to America and having to get recertified. And that's the thing y'all don't understand. And
write the curriculum. So people, this is one of the things too. People will talk trash about education. I would tell anybody, I am qualified. I could write out your whole 125 degree credit program for you to get your 4-year degree, because I've been teaching for 9 years. I've taught over 40,000 students. I get inundated with requests. This is no lie. Can you create a class for us in management information systems for 5 weeks? We will have you work with We'll have you work with a instructional designer. If you create the class, if we like it, we'll let you teach it. And if there needs to be perfections made to it, you can do it. Some of these people will pay you $2,500 and say, you got a month or 2 to create it. We'll give you half of it up front. And you could go around creating classes, especially now with artificial intelligence. I get inundated with, can you create an artificial intelligence class for us? So when people talk about education doesn't pay, I will always be needed, because the curriculum has to be updated. Cloud computing, from like all the stuff I do, like say Ericka, with the stuff she's doing, like Ericka could create an 8-week class on how to go look at a house, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and say, this is the class. People, the money is out there. You just have to sit down and learn how to do it. But a lot of people don't want to do it. So when I started in 2014 teaching, no black people I knew were doing it. Everybody was getting $40,000 to $50,000 crumb money. I said, I can't do that. It took me a time to build it up to get the good money, but I started 9 years ago, and y'all will be amazed at how many people are surprised to say, you've been teaching how long? I said 9 years, and I've taught over 40,000 students. So
listen, I keep telling y'all, the signs of old money in the South, and like North, South, and Georgia, it be them professors walking around. I'll be like, man, you chilling. You know why? Because they teach multiple classes, right? And 2, it's usually because they own their home, or they buy other rentals near the college that they rent out to who? Students. They sell their books, and every year they change the book, doctors. You know the drill. They change the book just enough to be the volume number 22 for $150. and so it's like they have to pass the income thing down. You know what I mean? Somebody said they'll take this job. Accounting is the best for seasonal work. With a master's or a CPA, you can demand $95 an hour for a 3-month contract, $60K plus data migration. And trust me, they will. Man, I've seen CPA bills. They be like, we can charge you $25K for this, man. I'm like, $25K? You better get out of here. I'll go hire somebody from China and put this together.
Don't forget, y'all tax people out here with these PPP loan. All these people going to jail. They're gonna need people.
You know what the thing is? The resolutions department. Resolutions. It's gonna be the newest thing that gets paid a lot because they got to go back and audit all these people's stuff. They got to go back and audit and help you fix your audits. So,
and one other thing, y'all forget: the United States is not the only place that prints money. You got Mexico, you got Canada, you got Europe. Go get money overseas. I mean, you could work from the U.S. and if you're the subject matter expert in your field, people will pay for it because people are so desperate to get people over here to the United States to learn about our economy and to learn about our technical systems. They will pay money. Contract yourself out. I mean, there's just so many opportunities. I'm on the other side of technology that many people don't get to see about teaching it and how it works and how a class might have 120 people and 120 of them and 100 of them are immigrants that the school might get paid $20,000 a piece and they might pay you $15,000 to teach them. And people don't realize all you got to do is do that 3 times a year. That's $45,000. All you do is do it 3 times a year. That's just one job, all the hookups. So I tell folks, y'all can get out here and continue to play these games. And the thing about that, Ericka, all you need is a laptop and a computer. I mean, a laptop and a monitor and a webcam. In some classes, you don't even have to lecture for because taking an hour out somebody's day is very tedious, but the curriculums and the schools are there, y'all. It's there's money to be made. I said it in the video I released today. What a time to be alive. There is so much opportunity right now, but it's not going to always be here.
Well, even someone said in the chat, like, what are the opportunities for women other than nursing? I'm like, all over the place. Admin, management, like, you know how many people are paying? I mean, honestly, people are paying people to manage their stuff. Now, what do I mean? They're paying some woman to basically come in and be the office manager, make sure everything's running, flowing. That's a lot out there right now. That's a lot of people paying for that. So there is this, that's why they're so concerned about women leaving, right? Because a lot of women would do what? Come into these positions and be like, oh yeah, I'll totally work this. I'll come in and make sure the office runs and everything's tidy and everything. But if they leave, you know, how many men are you going to get that are going to come into your company, not steal your company and do the work? Different. Y'all really not ready for the conversation.
Yeah. And right now is not a time to be cheap in life. A lot of y'all are trying to be cheap and find a way to just get around the curve. That's a temporary Band-Aid. You have to really find a way to get yourself to the top and learn how to be there. But Ericka and I and all the Tech Tuesday people she brings on and all the other people, we can help y'all out. But it is about to be a rat race. If you got family members you ain't spoke to in years, you about to start to get calls when they rent $2,500. It's coming. You know, life is about to get very expensive. It's in my video I said released today. It was talking about survivorships. I'm going to just say this. Relationships are going to be for people that are privileged. I'm just going to say this. If you cannot, they're going to be for privileged people because to take somebody out on a date is $200 to $300. Somebody would say $200 to $300. I said a mediocre date. Somebody will say, well, you're taking somebody out. I said, if you could take somebody out and you can get a $150 bill, you forgot you got to add in food. I'm not food, gas and other stuff. Dating is going to be for privileged people. I am sorry to say this, but society now is making it to where if you cannot afford to date or live, you're going to be cut out. And with all the opportunities, you know, we talk about with tech and blue collar jobs, Y'all, there's no reason why you can't be making 120,000, 130 easy, just snapping your fingers.
It will require them to make a sacrifice, though. That's what people. That's the part people are like. Oh, I got to make some changes. Oh no, I ain't trying to do that. A lot of the coasting. It's a lot of coasting going on here. Nobody wants to talk about it.
And you're gonna coast right into the homeless shelter, cars, repo. Oh, I gotta. Hey, if y'all don't out here want to do it, start your repo business and get a contract with a bank to say every car we repo, we'll charge you $250. You're gonna be able to get all these cars out of big city. All you gotta do is do 5 repos a night. That's $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a reason tow truck companies get such a bad rep. I mean, they're easy to start, hard to pin down, hard to get. You know, they did a whole special on Fox News about Chicago companies just towing like crazy, just towing people, getting crazy with it.
Man, it's
a thing.
Starting a trash business. I say this, and I'm gonna look into it. These subdivisions and these commercial places. Do y'all realize how much trash a subdivision accumulates? The people want the trash out there. Get you a trash truck with a robotic arm, pay $100,000 plus for the truck. You get a big contract with the city. Think about cities like Chicago, New York, Ericka, where she live out in Austin. Trash is a human hazard. Trash is a human hazard. They cannot have trash sitting on the side of the road or in a neighborhood.
Valet trash is a whole. I'm not gonna say a scam, but people call it a scam. But I remember meeting some brothers who were like, "Oh man, we just think about it. They charge $25 per. 25 is the going rate per door. You got a 1,000-unit apartment. Okay, let's do the math on that. Okay, now even if you just quote a smaller contract, you still gonna walk away with a lot. And now you just got your people driving by and doing what? Picking up trash 3-4 times a week, putting it in the dumpster.
$25,000. If there's $25 per each unit and that's $25,000
every month. The apartment complex is getting off valet trash. So now if you come to the apartment complex and say, hey, listen, we only need 10, 15K of it. Now they're like, well, okay. Why? Because they get to keep a little bit of that extra. You listen, it ain't gonna cost you that much to hire some guys to run around with a pickup truck, picking up trash, going up and down the stairs. I literally see families doing it. It's very much a hustle here in Austin and Dallas too. These companies get, apply for these contracts. Because again, you're not just doing one apartment complex, you're probably doing about 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? So it adds up. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments real quick. Because we're gonna wrap it up so I can go some dirty jobs. Yeah, dirty jobs. Mike Sneed did a car show, many guys with fancy cars on a tow truck. Yep. My cousins in Kentucky and Tennessee with gloves, chainsaw, pickup truck, clean up wind damage, easy money. Yeah, I literally told myself, if you're gonna hear, I said, listen, baby, if I had a pickup truck and I could hire a guy or two that won't gonna be crazy or still, man, be getting it. Let me see. Stay away from just enough folks. Man, I'm doing all right. What's that mean? I don't know. Y'all here talking about dates. Y'all cracking me up. What did I tell y'all? When I broke it down, I said literally re-engineer your life. Tell yourself how much you're gonna need, right? And what do I mean by that? If you need one date night a month, that means 12 a year. Is that enough? Is it not? If it's one every Friday, then that means 48 date nights a year. Right? 52. Sorry. If you need X amount of vacations, again, all this stuff is a math equation. And people ain't paying attention. Hey, Brandy, did you see the article where it said people who have assistant in their title do not want to be called assistants? I said, y'all doing too much out here. You're doing too much. They want to be called something else.
Yeah, I saw that article.
I'm like, what do y'all want to be called? Like, your job title says assistant. We should petition to get a better name. I'm like, what the name do you want? It's super crazy. This guy said there's a PMI group course specific for the government. Join a PMI group in your city for sure. Get a trade. All this stuff. Get a trade. Yeah, Brandy be posting some good stuff when I be over her page. I'll be over there looking. I see what my students be doing. But yeah, so I just want y'all to understand that that's basically the show tonight. I ain't gonna drag it out too long. I'm gonna be chilling on the beach, resting my nerves, living my best life. I'm so grateful, Dr. Dix. We already had half our people who ready to start building out in Arizona. They ready to go. And I'm so proud of y'all. You don't understand because y'all hear me talking about this, but y'all really don't understand that they're like, the government basically don't care. Dr. Dix, it's like, hey, we need some affordable housing. Y'all gonna build that? We'll give you the money, right? Like Section 8 tenants, just for people who want Section 8 tenants. Again, if you want them, there's cities right now paying you $2,000 just to take one. That's just a bonus to take them. So imagine, how crazy it's got to be that the government is offering in multiple cities. Hey man, listen, we'll give you $2,000. Just come on, just take them. Come on, man, take them. Jeez, $2,000 from the government. That's not even your monthly payment. That's just you taking them as a tenant, saying, okay, we agree. We'll take some. We'll take some. That's how crazy it is right now. So I don't think y'all understand like what's happening right now. Earlier I was talking about, this lady said she saw men at her where she's at in discount housing. I'm like, they had to be there early because women and children always get first dibs. Anything else you want to tell them about him, Dr. Diggs? I couldn't find the page I want to show them. So
No, you can post my calendar link in there if y'all have any questions. Go and subscribe to my subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Patrick Dix, and follow me on Instagram at King of Automation. I post a couple of videos a month, a week now. Peter is an excellent editor. I'm glad Ericka referred him to me. Yeah, he is. They're great with the editing. So that's all I really wanted to say on this late night.
I love it. Y'all, again, I don't know how more else to say it to you in a million different ways, but y'all gonna start seeing big separation. The young lady I talked about a couple shows ago about the young women who were going overseas to save money on rent, and she's a single mom and all that stuff. Like literally, she's literally half her time now in Egypt, half in Costa Rica, half in Egypt. And what did that come from? That came from moving down there, paying just $300 in rent, right? And then turning around and getting skills. Like that's the clear part of her journey is getting skills, knowing how to repair credit, knowing how to do accounting, learning how to do some other stuff. You're not going to make it without getting some skills in this equation. No matter where you move, no matter where you go, you're going to need some skills.
It is serious. I see it when I travel, the separation. You can see the people that have money. You can see the people who don't. The next time y'all travel, just observe if you fly or drive, wherever you're at. Just look at the hotels. Just look at where you stay. Yeah, I'm telling you, my Uber driver, when I traveled this weekend, he was Mexican or something. He was just telling me, man, I make money, and he was telling me how Uber gyps them and raises the price. He said they complained about it. And I'm telling y'all, I see the separation. I'm more afraid for people that are not prepared than myself because I'm trying to get the word out. But all Ericka and I could do and all the other people I talk to is tell y'all what's up. So when I'm on the beach, you ain't gonna be able to reach me in a couple of years. I'm out.
Listen, she said my family had Section 8 and $2,000 extra was not enough because they be tearing it up. Ericka, what do you think is a good monthly salary for a retired person? Sergeant King, prime example. You have to re-engineer what you want your life to look like. Again, I told y'all massages weekly are mandatory for me. That means I need 52 massages a year. I need a 1 a week date night. That means I need 52 date nights a year. Okay, I need a vacation every 60, 90 days, sometimes more than that. So that means I need 3 to 4 vacations a year. How much do those cost? You have to literally sit down with a pen and paper and say, what is something I'm looking like? They are non-negotiables I really need or want. What is something I need or want? Okay, a personal trainer is a non-negotiable. Okay, me starting to go get with this company that has this specialist supplements. It's a non-negotiable. It's got to be in there. It's got to be in the budget. So I could tell you, I know people who get their military retirement check and a little bit of disability, and they're at $3,000 and they chilling, but they own a paid off car and a halfway paid off house. So, and they're chilling, right? Because most people at a certain age, they watching Netflix, they taking their kids to soccer games and they chilling. They're doing cookouts at the house on the weekend. Everybody doesn't have this like, we're going to travel and rock the world and do craziness. There's seasons of life when it's like that, but not everybody does. So, I mean, it's again, There was something Ericka said about runaway halfway houses, home for the disabled. Yeah, they'll pay you to house people. We know people right now in Dallas got multiple houses. They'll pay you to house them people. They're not playing. Somebody said massage and dating are important. They're very important. Massages are, I mean, I gave them up for 2 weeks. I said, my back and my neck are hurt. The business development can start at 200K. You look on Indeed. Oh, yeah. Listen, and this is my talk. Like when I talk to Tim, if y'all going to apply for stuff on Indeed, be like Donald Trump. Apply for the job you want, not for the one you got the skills for. Just apply. Like, be cocky. Have confidence. Apply for it. Why not? Mm-hmm. So, anyways, but yeah, Dr. Dix's information is in the chat, you guys. You guys are hilarious. Thank you so much. Yeah, home is the most expensive part. I put Dr. Dix's calendar in the links. I think, let me see if it will push it.
Do you have it?
I'd have it, but you didn't put the like www on it. So let me see if that'll work. If y'all that don't work, let me know. But it's calendar.com, Dr. Dix. There's 322 people here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I'm gonna let Dr. Dix send me this calendar link one more time. I'm gonna eat me some food and get ready for my flight. But yeah, the cost of stuff, we talked about this really a lot. The cost of things are going down, but not the things you want to go down, right? I looked up a semi-private jet to go from Dallas to Cabo, Mexico. It was $600. I was like, that's it? Round trip? I pay that to be crowded on the airport with people I don't like in tight planes. And I can pay this $600? Oh, okay. Lesson learned. I'm gonna be on the semi-private. I'm out of here. Right? Oh,
there you go. I put
over here.
There you go. I just put it back in there.
Okay, there you go. So, a lot of times I talk about this stuff and I talk about, building one house a year. It's literally, one of the trainings I went to, the guy was like, I don't care what my kids do, as long as they build one house a year. I know that they will have 6 figures, right? People need housing. People need somewhere to stay. Dr. Dix, here's his link in the chat. Aquaword, if you need to talk to me about oil road investing, it's in the 15 to 30% class. We'll have the guy come on, but we already have 3 students who've invested with the oil rig company I talked about for my training. So y'all, people be moving. People that watch the Classy Climb have change and some change. Okay. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb, one half of the Reality Twins. Dr. Dix, tell them where they can find you on the internet.
Y'all can find me on LinkedIn at Dr. Patrick Dix. You can find me at King of Automation on Instagram. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Dr. Patrick Dix. Go and subscribe. I upload content, and reach out to me on the link with calendly.com/Dr. Dix for consultations. I've done several and enjoying doing them, and reach out to me. Let's do it.
All right, you guys. This has been your girl Ericka. I'll see you guys on the sunny beaches of abundance and love and peace in Hawaii. Later, you guys.